Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Akira Montague. First, I'll look at the background of this case, including the summary of the lawsuit, then offer my analysis. Akira Montague was born in August 1998 and lived in Durham County, North Carolina. On October 20, 2018, she married a man named Timothy Montague. The couple went on to have 2 children. In December 2023, Timothy started having an affair with a massive social media influencer named Grande, who lived in Winterville, North Carolina. She produces low-quality videos about topics like cooking, makeup, food, and completing mundane tasks, for instance, going to the store. Grande is active on Facebook, Instagram, and a platform called TikTok, where she has almost 3 million followers. Due to Grande's interference, Akira and Timothy separated in March 2024 and later divorced. According to the Raleigh newspaper, The News and Observer, Akira was arrested in May of that year for communicating threats. She allegedly told Grande, "I will kill you, I will beat your blank, and I know where you stay." Akira was offered a deferred prosecution in December 2024. She was sentenced to 12 months of unsupervised probation and required to take anger management classes. During that same month, Akira filed a $3.5 million lawsuit against Grande for alienation of affection and criminal conversation. Alienation of affection is an unusual law which is available to a plaintiff in only 6 states, including North Carolina. The law is designed to compensate the victim of an affair. 3 conditions must be met for a plaintiff to prevail under this law. A marriage involving love and affection existed, the love and affection were alienated and destroyed, and the love was destroyed because of the acts of a third party. The focus of this law is about losing the love of a spouse. When a spouse or former spouse files an alienation of affection claim, the gravamen of their complaint is that they no longer have the love. They can pursue damages based on the financial consequences of a separation, but the law is really about love, a construct that is difficult to define and quantify. For this reason, these lawsuits are typically pretty difficult to win. The criminal conversation claim is related to alienation of affection. To prove this claim, a plaintiff needs to establish that sex occurred between the defendant and the spouse prior to the separation. Despite the inclusion of the word criminal, this is a civil claim, not a crime, and despite the word conversation, no talking is necessary to be found culpable. With all that in mind, here is a summary of the lawsuit filed by Akira Montague. Grande's husband, Devin, is a cousin of Timothy, and Timothy worked as Grande's sales manager. In December 2023, while Grande was temporarily living with Akira and Timothy in their marital home, she attempted to seduce Timothy by using multiple methods. For example, wearing very short skirts, bending over in front of Timothy while wearing those skirts, twirling her hair in a flirtatious manner, exposing her tongue rings, and verbally flirting. Grande made cooking videos that included Timothy without obtaining Akira's consent. Grande and Timothy had sex for the first time in December 2023, which Akira discovered in January 2024 when she saw a video of this activity. The lawsuit doesn't indicate that watching the video was traumatic, but one could make a good argument that it must have been. Sometimes Grande and Timothy had sex in the marital home while Akira was asleep in that same residence. Grande was not subtle about the affair and flaunted the infidelity on social media. She recorded videos containing various statements of affection toward Timothy. For example, Grande expressed an overwhelming desire to have 4 or 5 children with Timothy. She was eager to refer to herself as Mrs. Montague. She mentioned how much she yearned for Timothy, and Grande enjoyed having sex with him. For example, he made her genitals throb, and she was impressed by the size of his genitals. As I mentioned, alienation of affection lawsuits are challenging to win. Maybe this is why Grande did not seem to be too worried and took no action to hide the romance. The relationship continued to progress. She and Timothy made their first official appearance as a couple in June 2024, the month after the lawsuit was filed. In September 2024, the couple married. During that same month, Grande was arrested for cyber-stalking Akira. Grande allegedly permitted an electronic device to be used for the purposes of causing mental and emotional stress to the victim. The civil case for alienation of affection went to trial 2 months later in November 2025. Akira was represented by an attorney, but Grande represented herself. The trial had no shortage of drama, including the judge warning both Akira and Grande about their behavior in the courtroom. On November 5, as the trial continued, Timothy Montague was arrested and charged with carrying a concealed 9mm pistol and having the weapon in the courthouse after being caught during a routine security screening. On November 10, 2025, Akira Montague was awarded $1.75 million. $1.5 million was for the alienation of affection claim, and $250,000 was for the criminal conversation. During an interview with the media after the verdict, Grande was asked how she was going to pay the award. She said, "I don't know. She'll probably never see it." Now moving to my analysis. Did the jury arrive at the correct verdict in this case? Was Grande culpable for alienation of affection? Many people have argued that this law should not exist in the first place. However, in reality, it does exist. This is the law in North Carolina. Grande knew, or should have known, that she could be sued for infidelity. The central question in this case becomes, did she rob Akira of love? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that Grande was responsible, starting with the inculpatory factors. Akira argued she had proof that the love between her and Timothy was real during their marriage. For example, they both had true love tattoos. Timothy would write love notes every day and put them in Akira's lunchbox. He sent text messages saying he loved her. There were photographs of the couple on vacation and of them kissing each other on the cheek. When Grande stayed in Akira's residence, she knew that Akira was married to Timothy. Despite this, Grande made an effort to seduce Timothy. In January 2024, the month after Timothy first had sex with Grande, he sent text messages talking about sexual acts performed with Akira. This establishes that he was having sex with both women during that time period. Grande argued that the marriage was already over, but it sure didn't seem that way. Akira was unhappy about Grande and Timothy spending time together and sent 3 text messages to this effect. One that was sent on January 26, 2024 read, "Grande has to leave by noon." This establishes that Akira was not giving consent to Grande to be in a relationship with Timothy. After Timothy left Akira, Grande bragged about enjoying sex with him and indicated she wanted a future with him. Ultimately, the couple married. Now moving to the exculpatory factors. Grande claimed that Akira gave consent for her to be with Timothy, saying she would not mind it if they were together. To explain the videos about enjoying sex with Timothy, Grande stated that she was referring to when they were together in 2014. Evidently, they were romantically involved years earlier, but went their separate ways. Grande also said that she was drunk and declared, "I'm not proud of those videos." That statement would also be fitting if Grande was referring to her entire collection of videos on social media. Timothy claimed that he never loved Akira, and the relationship was like that of roommates. He used the cheapest engagement ring he could find to propose to her, and he did not get down on one knee. Timothy said, "I loved her, but I wasn't in love with her." When considering all the factors in this case, do I think that Grande was responsible for alienation of affection? In my opinion, yes, she was culpable. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. The marriage between Akira and Timothy was satisfactory for the most part. They experienced a collection of feelings typically described as love. When Grande came along, Timothy was mesmerized by her irresistible beauty and taken aback by her larger-than-life presence. He started fantasizing about finding love on a wider scale, so to speak. They had an affair and eventually married. Grande was the cause of the separation between Akira and Timothy. Unfortunately, this type of scenario is common. What made this case unusual was how Grande used her massive social media presence to flaunt her new relationship. This aggravated Akira and made her search for some way to make Grande pay. She found the solution in North Carolina's Archaic alienation of affection law. The lawsuit that followed took Grande completely by surprise. She probably didn't know that she could be sued for having an affair. Even when Grande became aware of the legal liability her actions created, she was defiant. She married Timothy and produced video content featuring their relationship. She wanted to rub Akira's nose in it. At one point, she said that Timothy was worth the legal troubles. After the $1.75 million verdict, Grande may now be questioning the accuracy of that statement. In the end, she was the biggest loser in this drama. She owes Akira a substantial amount of money, and she is married to Timothy. Now moving to my final thoughts. Many people find the alienation of affection law to be outdated, viewing it as the state attempting to adjudicate matters of love, something that is very difficult to do fairly. The law oversimplifies complex romantic situations and encourages vindictive litigation. Other people view this differently. They say the law creates a deterrent to intentionally disrupting a marriage. If a person interferes with a marriage in a blatant, sustained, or malicious manner, they should be held financially accountable. What is my opinion on the subject? Infidelity is destructive, and it makes sense that some type of deterrent should be in place. Interference with a marriage is a bad idea and should be discouraged. At the same time, love is an inscrutable construct, and the inner workings of marriages are fuliginous. There is no reason to believe the state can see through the darkness and find the truth. The law cannot fix every problem, and it should not attempt to do so. Even so, for residents of the state of North Carolina, the outcome of the lawsuit filed by Akira Montague serves as a chilling reminder about the dangers of stealing love. The law there makes infidelity even less appealing than it already is. Those are my thoughts on the case of Akira Montague. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Just a reminder that I have over 300 pre-release videos on my Patreon account. These videos are of the same quality as the videos I release to the public. When I put a video in pre-release status, it usually remains that way for several months, if not a year. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video.